Today we answer a viewer question on the difference between a monitor and a television. This is TQA Weekly. I'm your host, Steve Smith, aka Z-Axis, and fun fact, it's my birthday today. By the way, we're going to be answering a viewer question. And this viewer question is from Buckwheat Clark from YouTube, who asks, what's the difference between an LED TV and an LED monitor? He also wanted to know my personal opinion on what is the preference I would use between a 42-inch screen and two 24-inch monitors. If you have any questions like this that you would like me to answer on this show, ask at TQAweekly.com or head over to TQAweekly.com and use the submission form in the contact section. So in order to analyze the difference between the two devices, we must discuss the fact that the backlight has nothing to do with it. So an LED LCD is using a light emitting diode as opposed to the normal fluorescent lighting in the back. And this will always be true for every type of monitor and television. So whether it is a LED LCD, a plasma, a standard LCD, or even one of those older generation CRT screens, I'm going to be comparing the monitor to the television, and the answer is normally true for all of them. So the way the image is displayed does not differ between the monitor and the televisions. The actual difference is in how the image is developed, how it is attained, how the connectors are used, and even the various requirements and abilities that every single thing will use. Televisions have their own tuner. They're capable of capturing signals from antennas, converting them for the screen. They can use multiple identical sources. So you'll have newer screens with 2, 3, 4 HDMI, DVI connectors on the back. You'll have multiple VGAs, you'll have multiple component, multiple RCA connectors depending on the TV and how much you spend on it. And here's the bonus part. It is aware of its aspect ratio. It can be connected to a computer but does not need to be connected to a computer. You can connect it to a cable box or a satellite box, but it doesn't have to. It can capture its own signal, process it, put it on the screen with the correct aspect ratio without any problems whatsoever. Computer monitors cannot do all this. They are reliant on an outside device like a computer or a cable box in order to portray an image on the screen. They need a graphics card in order to achieve this. And even worse, if you're not using a standard aspect ratio like the 4:3 or the 16:9, the image won't be shown correctly even if you're using a cable box. So in order to get the maximum amount of benefit from an LCD monitor that has either a 16:10 or more bizarre aspect ratio, you absolutely need to use a computer, use drivers, and set the screen up yourself correctly. Televisions are automatic. Now, as for my preference, one big 42-inch monitor or two smaller 24-inch monitors, it is subjective, and all of you will agree with me. It will really depend on yourself. I, a video editor, a programmer, graphic designer, actually would like to use two screens to do all my tasks. So when I'm using even just like my laptop connected to my big display, I'll use the second screen for all my tools, everything that filters and all that other stuff, the preview windows, so that I can actually see what I'm doing and edit what I'm trying to look at without interfering with each of the other screens. Preview screen doesn't need to be touched in the case of video. But I'm also a gamer. And one of the most annoying things about gaming is the bezel. So any gamers out there, you all know what I'm talking about. The thicker the bezel on the two screens, the more space there is between the two parts. And even if you can get the game to split over onto two screens so that it would look awesome, if you have thick bezels, that's not good. You're missing part of the action. So one bigger 42-inch screen for gaming is what I would like. So what I would like to know is, what do you prefer? 2 smaller screens for your tasks or gaming, or 1 big screen for your tasks or gaming? Please explain why down below on YouTube or any of the comment boxes you may see, whether you're looking at on a show notes page or on blip.tv or any other place. Let me know what your comments are, how you use them if you do, and which one you actually prefer. Next week I'll be talking about RAID. Yes, a lot of you don't know necessarily what RAID is, and I'm going to demystify what RAID is, how it can be used, how it should be used, the good, the bad, and the really ugly, because it can get ugly using RAID. So if you wish to participate in the discussion, have questions, comments, stories, even bad stories about RAIDs and how they failed for you or how they worked for you, even suggestions, let's say hardware suggestions, please email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or head over to tqaweekly.com and use the submission form available in our contact page. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to TQA Weekly. Head over to our newly rebuilt website at tqaweekly.com for the show notes of this episode, learn how to subscribe to our newsletter, get our Android application, participate in the contests, weekly survey, and so much more. Have a great day, stay safe and online. Goodbye.